Hello everyone on the YouTubes, how you guys doing? Hope you guys are well. Hope you guys are good after the God knows how bad Guild War was. Hello everyone. Yeah, so for this particular one, I guess I know a lot of people did kind of ask for it in a way, like how do you actually progress? Because now it's 2023 already. How is it like a good way to progress, and what do you need to look out for and all that shit ass stuff? So like I said, I do not have any form of script for this. This is literally just me saying shit out directly from the top of my head. Okay, I do not have anything written down, anything. No, this is just from like the whole muscle memory shit I have. This is all the stuff that I just kept in my back of my brain, which I never really thought about it until like now. So you're gonna hear a lot of like maybe like not really like, how do I say, like concrete thoughts. I suppose I'll just go like maybe this might work, I don't know, you know, that kind of shit. Yeah, like that. So as much as I would like this to be a guide, but it might not for the most part, but I'll try my best. Okay. All right, so let's just say, okay, so let's just put it in this situation, right? Let's just say you have some characters, right? You luck shit some roulette characters, those kind of shit, you know. You have some shit going on, okay? Some characters, very bare minimum weapons. So it's like Magna 1 weapons that they give you for free kind of shit, you know, those kind of stuff. Let's just say you're in that position, right? So you're only having like, say, these kind of weapons, if you're wondering. How do I look at... Okay, where is that thing? Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna look through. Yeah, like these ones, right? Yeah, if you have like this one, for example, like yeah, this one, you know, this shit, yeah, this kind of weapons, right? If you have this kind of shit, this bare minimum stuff, right? In whatever element, right? Let's just say you're in that position with like some good characters. Not this motherfuckers. Yeah. I don't think I'm very certain you don't have any of these yet. But like maybe you're like that kind of person that you managed Lakshin Michael, some rabbit, you got Percival, you know, that kind of shit. Like you just started recently, right? In the last roulette, you luck shit all those characters. People might hate you for that, but you know. And then maybe you luck shit Yatima as well. You know, yeah, like that, right? Yeah, people are probably gonna hate you for that, but it's fine. That's how a gacha game works. People always hate you for your good rolls anyway, right? So like, yeah, if you're in that kind of position, honestly, the first thing you probably want to do is that you want to go into the side story, right? You go look for Seeds of Redemption. Where the fuck is it? There, this one. Seeds of Redemption. You go in here, you clear the freaking event, and then you get... once you clear the event, you get that whatever treasure thing. I think is this. Where is it? This thing, right? I think you get this thing or something. I don't remember. But yeah, you get one of the stupid material thing which allows you to exchange for Eternal / Juten, whichever you want to call it, right? My probably best opinion or my suggestion would be you want to grab Sarasa. Mental? Oh yeah, it's probably, yeah, I don't remember actually. So the you want to grab her. You want to grab her simply because you want to use her this thing. This is Ground Zero. This skill is called Ground Zero, which allows you to do plane damage. If you do not know how it looks like, I can just show you real quick right now. And I just go here real quick. Dude, click. It'll look like this. She just... Kaboom! Lots of damage. Okay, probably not as much damage as you saw earlier if you just got her. But yeah, you get a lot of plane damage, right? So, the reason that being, you want that just so you can quickly go to this thing. This thing called the Slime Search. If you do not see this, all you need to do is click this purple button here. And you go to this one here. It's called the slime search shit, whatever. Yeah, then you click on this thing, and you go to the last one, right? Because the reason why I say that is probably because you already have like some form of summons and shit going on as well. You could probably just use that and kill it in the first turn or whatever. If you have Babu, that's even better. If you're wondering what Babu is this guy right here. This guy right here. You can just use him. And it works too. So you could do that. But if you do not have that said summons or whatever, right? So what you could do is you can quickly go and try and get some of your Arcarum shit done as well. Like the normal Arcarum, like these ones. So like you're probably in normal, right? So what normal is gonna be is that you're very likely be able to clear the ones at east with just Sarasa alone. The reason that being because plain damage only gets nerfed in like I think extreme, if I recall correctly. Because what that happens in extreme difficulty is that your plain damage will get cut by half. It's like the damage, like for example, you saw earlier was like 4.8 million, right? When you go into this extreme difficulty, it will be like 2.4 mil instead of 4.8 mil, right? It will be cut by 50%. But in normal difficulty, I don't think that really matters at all. It's the same 100% damage and shit, so you can just quickly get through some of these shit. And what that gives you is that you're most likely be able to get some of this stupid oops, wrong button. Some of this stupid weapons here, right? All these stupid weapons. But the one weapon you probably most likely want to try and get is this one. So this is an earth weapon, so what you want to probably do is go to like either this one or you go to this one, because this is the earth boss, this is also an earth boss, and it's most likely you get a dude that is the earth guy, and then if you kill him, he'll most likely drop that. But then again, I'm pretty sure it's RNG anyway, so it doesn't really matter. So you get this thing. What this essentially gives you is that they allow you to have the ability, right? If you so happen to I'll get into this later. You get the class Swordmaster or Glory Bringer. You'll be able to do similar to what that Sarasa character does. So, but that applies to your MC. So in case if you do not have like any form of like summons like that Babu or whatever shit I mentioned earlier, you can just use MC to go and slime, and you just need to slime like crazy, right? Because the whole idea, right? The whole idea at the beginning, if you're not even like rank 100, for example, you want to rush to 120, because as much as I remember in the past before I used to say like you shouldn't even rush your rank or whatever, that's really, really different now, because you really want to rush your ranks right now to at least like a bare minimum of 120, just so you have access to all this motherfuckers here. Right here. This is called the I don't even remember their names, but we call them Magnitude. Yeah, those guys. those guys. I don't remember what they call them in English, but yeah, we always call them Magnitude. Yeah, so it's that. So yeah, you want to get to 120 just so you are able to get these unlocked, because the bare minimum for these is that you need to get to level 100, rank 120. Weapon series is Regalia. Ah, yes, that one. Okay, yeah, thank you. So you want to unlock this because you want to be at least a bare minimum rank of 120, because yeah, 100. Yeah, you need to be 120 for that, just to unlock that one. So once you get that, at least, right, at least you can just try to join people instead of hosting your own or whatever. You can just join people, especially you want to do it, all right, you want to do it in magfest. What magfest tends to be is that it's like a special festival, right? A special festival where a lot of raids, a lot of single player quests will be cut in half. The requirements is cut in half, or either the host requirement is just non-existent, like currently on this current recording, this happens right after Guild War, or for this one in particular, for the New Year's ones, where all this host has 0 cost. It doesn't cost to do anything. So this is the thing I was referring to. So especially in this kind of fests, right, you will want to join them like according to what it currently is. So right now is light favorite, right? Not light favorite, sorry, light bosses, right? Now it's all light bosses. you want to join all these because they, no matter like your honor gain, like the amount of honors you do might be really crap, but you can still get something out of it. Yeah. So what essentially that will help you is that you're gonna be able to get all these shit here, because if I recall correctly, especially for the Magna 2 ones, you'll be able to get all of them, including this one in particular. You probably, because this is the important ones too, like this two. You get more of these. You need a lot of these as when you're trying to progress. You want to get all this dude's anima, we call them gold and normal anima, whatever shit. And of course the weapons, right? So you can use the weapons to upgrade, because for most of them, Magna 2 especially, you will want to, I mean, most of them are pretty helpful. And the other reason for that being is that you want to rush to 120 is that, damn, I actually can't show it right now. But what that also allows you is that you can fast skip Magna 1s. So this is the ones we call Magna 1s, okay? So these ones, you can skip them. You do not have to do them one by one anymore. You can just press one button and it just allows you to skip it, and you just clear everything all in one go. Just as simple as that. All you need to do is to get to 120 first. That is the very, very first step you need to do. Rush to 120 as fast as you can. You really, really need that, because that at least will help you to be able to join all these stuff, which essentially will help you boost a little bit better. Because really, to me, the one main issue right now in, like, especially for newer players in GBF, is really, really hard for you to get shit done. Why I say that is because nobody wants to fucking help you. Because nobody really gives a damn, right, on like doing this kind of stuff anymore. Especially if, you know, you want to host this as part of your completion, and so happen you just can't seem to solo them and whatnot, right? So obviously you need help from random pumps, right? But not a lot of people are really gonna help you, unless there's an upcoming Unite and Fight / Guild War that is according to that element, and most likely there might be some traffic going on for that particular raid, but there's no promises for that one in particular. Yeah, so the really, really important one is to do it during, like, you just need to click on this button and just check on this shit, you know. This during this magfest, which is probably going to happen again in 2 months, because anniversary is in 2 months. You most likely will be seeing that again, so that's also another good time to start pumping up your characters, your grids, your progression and whatnot. Yeah, that's a really, really good time. Another thing is that if you have if so happen we are in a position where the magfest once again doesn't have this raid cost. One thing I can say is that that one raid that used to be a real pain in the ass to join, and we're gonna see a lot more of during this kind of fest, is this motherfucker right here. This guy, which we call him the normal version of Ultimate Baha. Yeah, this guy is very, very common. So like, I guess I can just do it right now. Okay, where is he? I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people in here. See, there's 11 people in here. Oh, see, he's full already. Never mind. See what I mean? See, there's a lot of people doing that kind of shit, especially when you have zero cost raid materials. That guy blows up. And what essentially that guy provides is actually a really good amount of materials that helps you in a long run. The reason that being is that from what you're seeing right here, this guy drops randomly these things out of 1 out of 4 or 2 out of 4, I don't really remember, and then drops this thing as well. The only other way for you to really get these guys is either from the 4 Primarch raids, which is here. Yeah, this one here. Yeah, this one's. This one, which is the activity for that one is not really that high, so I don't really suggest that. And the other ones is the one where you do your when you unlock your seraphic weapon, which is true here. So you have to clear all this, and then you have like access to what's that? The raid version, which is somewhere here. Yeah, this is the raid version, right? Nobody does this. I just want to point out, nobody does this at all. So in order for you to get all these things is really, really annoying. So if you actually mash this, because not only it helps you get this too, which is probably one of the materials that you also really need in terms of like progressing your whatever things, be everything. There's a lot of stuff in this game that requires this too. And then it also helps you build your Ultima as well. Ultima helps a lot because I think once you clear that one, when you get your Sarasa Sips or Redemption shit, you can also go and finish what makes the sky blue, which gives you a free Ultima, which allows you to get upgrade as well from that. Then not only that, if you farm this, you can... By the way, you can just leech this as well, by the way. You don't really need to go hard. This guy doesn't need to do too hard. You can just leech it, it's fine. You just need to push one button, is fine as well. So, what essentially this allows you to do as well is that it allows you to host this guy. I know this guy is pretty hard, which is the HL version of the one you saw before, which we tend to call Shiny in short, because his full name is Ultimate Baha HL. But yeah, this guy gives you a gold bar. Yeah, he gives you a gold bar, and it's very, very helpful. And for the most part, you can also what's that? Technically leech that from other people as well if you so desire, because that tends to happen anyway. But I think you can only unlock this guy at rank 170 or 100. I actually don't remember. I'm sorry. It's around like that. But yeah. Anyway, moving forward. So that's kind of like the bare bones of what I wanted to like suggest. Like, you know, you want to get to this get to 100 rank 120 ASAP. Unlocking all this so you can gain access to all this shit, blah blah blah, all that stuff. Yeah, I'm gonna put that aside for now. But once you get all that done, right, what you can actually do before even that as well, if you want to just get XP or whatever, I really do suggest you to finish every single side story in the game has to offer. Every single one. If you can, try to prioritize on like the Seeds on Redemption I mentioned earlier. One makes the sky blue. And Princess Connect, you want to also get like the Lelouch guy. And then also I mean, try to clear as much as you can. Try to clear everything. All of this. Clear all of this. As in like you start the story, finish the story. Like if you want to see what you need to shit, I think I already cleared everything though. So basically, like, the only things you really need to only pay attention in terms of, like, what you need to grab in here. You actually don't even need to grab the weapons, actually. But if you want to grab the weapons because you're lacking of weapons, by all means. But if not, the most important one is to get there's a single role in every single side story in the game. There's up to 3. You definitely want to grab those. Every single one of the side story has them. So what that essentially will give you is that you get a lot of spark funds. And if I recall correctly, you can probably get close to a full... I think like at least 60%, right? 60 or 70% of spark funds if you actually clear everything by now. I actually don't remember. But that's just... End of the day, you get a lot, okay? And not only that, because this... What essentially happens is that when you clear the side story, right? Like you clear this hard mode or whatever, it gives you either the summon, it also gives you the weapon. You don't really even need to exchange the thing to get it at all. Because like, I'm pretty sure I can show you some right now. Like if I go here... Where's all my shitty weapons? That I got from the... thing. Is it really that far back? Yeah, like this one. Yeah, that right here. This one. So it gives you like, it's already like max limit break, right here. Like this one. So you see, you clear the side story, you get weapons like this. You just get it like that. You don't really have to exchange that thing. You just need to go from start to finish, just complete it once and you just get it. It's either you get the weapons, you can also get the summons, like this one. You see, like this, I've forgotten his name, the the Stella Magna guy. Then you get this shark as well. So you get all these summons as well along with it. And not to mention, yes, that reminds me, not to mention, I think we should have that now, by now, isn't it? We can get Nobio off that as well. And what essentially happens is that with Nobio, that will be like your number one thing to use on sliming teams. Like this one. So I'm using Kaguya now, right? But Kaguya is the best one because it gives you 30% extra XP or whatever. But if you have Nobio, you can technically have at least 15%, which is the same as white rabbit, black rabbit, whichever rabbit. Yeah. So yeah, like this. You get 15%. Which is gonna at least help you get sped up in terms of your whole sliming session to 120 or whatever. Yeah. So that is the I guess one of my suggestions, I would say, because like before you actually get there, you wanna try to get all your side stories done, because once you get your Sarasa in, you can, I'm quite certain you can actually get a lot of those done very, very easily, you know, because you can actually just use Sarasa Ground Zero. If it's not dead yet, you just cast like a summon or whatever, and it's probably dead already. So yeah, it's really quite simple. Because not to mention, if you do not have your own Babu, right, I think my other suggestion is that you either pick, you follow according to the element that is favored to. So like if you're going in a fire boss, you'll be going in as a water team, for example. So if you have like some sort of water shit going on with your grid, you could just pick like a Varuna support, or you could also pick, technically you can just pick Baha for all I know. Because Baha, if you see someone with this, like this kind of Baha, right? Like, do I even have friends that has that right now to show? Because I know some of my stupid friends has that. Yeah, like this one. This is a stupid fucking friend. But if you see people like that trying to flex their Baha mode, right, which is kind of pointless in a way, this can kind of help you, because this is like elemental now instead of just dark. So this is elemental, meaning it works on all elements. So technically, if you put it as a support summon, it should be according to your MC's element. Yeah, and that should also allow you to just nuke the boss, and this technically nukes relatively hard. You can just use that, yeah. And that should at least help you clear it that much easier if you're lacking in firepower, whatnot, of course. Then last but not least, I think in terms of like how you want to progress your which element you should be progressing or whatnot, I think I always said this before, the best way for you to progress is to follow according to whatever Guild War or Unite and Fight is coming up next. Like we just finished Fire Favorite, right? So say for example, like let's just say like the previous Guild War, we haven't finished it yet, or maybe like because the next one we still do not know yet because it's not time yet. The next one could be either Light or Dark Favorite, right? Let's just say it's Dark Favorite, for example. If it's Dark Favorite Guild War, what then? Obviously you should just try to focus on building up your Dark team. Just try to build up your Dark team. So you just go with like Avatar, you know, get some of his stupid sticks. Like, yeah, that's stupid sticks like this thing. You want this thing here. Yeah, then you can also get the fizz, which is also kind of nice. But yeah, I guess I should probably help in terms of like right now, that's kind of like the base progression of how you want to do it. That I could probably go on further, but I think I should kind of like explain how a little bit briefly how the TLDR, how the grid system works, because it's very freaking confusing for a lot of people. So my suggestion in terms of like how you want to fit a grid right? There's two main setups, right? There's two main setups, which is a Magna setup or a Primal setup. Primals is technically like your whaler territory kind of shit, to put it simply. It's not really whaler territory, because that just only feels like you can get there very easily if you're playing the game a lot. You already farm to end game and whatever. But that doesn't really matter. But so there's like Magna and there's Primal, okay? To put it simply, there's also like the elemental setup, but you don't really go for that. That's only for like end game players in a way. So for Magna, let's just put it like an example. So for Magna, my win is technically kind of like that. I'm using Magna win, or even my fire is, I'm just going to show my fire instead. Yeah, my shitty ass fire, for example, like this one, right? So for the most part, right, it used to be like you want to have at least around between 5 to 6 Magna weapons, right? And then the rest, you fill in whatever the rest. Because the way this game works is that you're using the summons to multiply the modifiers of the weapon. And you can't really just fit everything into, like, say you're using Magna, right? You cannot fit all of these weapons as Magna, because this game, in terms of the weapon grid system, there is diminishing returns. You can't just put it all together. Because, like, say for example, like I put like fucking eight of these AAS weapons in here, right? I have like massive diminishing returns on my 7th, on my 5th one, or the 6th one, for example, right? Or even like, yeah. So that's just really bad. So what usually you tend to do is like you have like that main core weapon or a few weapons that you use for Magna mods. One Magna mod tends to look like it has a stupid M on it, okay? It has the M on it. And then you fit in, I feel like you should only fit in at least like between 4 to 5, or you can technically fit in 6, is still okay. You just need to not fit in like the same mod, you know? You shouldn't fit in the same mod, I feel like. So like, say for example, like this one, right? You shouldn't fit in like 6 of them. So like, say for example, if I want to put in more of this type of weapon, like the Magna weapon, I should fit in like, say for example, like the Rise of the Beast gun, for example. This is a different mod. So this is kind of like a different mod altogether, because this one is you can multiply this with your summon. So this technically kind of helps your grid in a way. You're not really paying too much attention to this. This still kind of helps in a way, but the how to say, the boost is not gonna be that efficient, I would say. So you're actually boosting other shit, because, you know, say for example, like for my grid is already, because, you know, I have like the opus and shit to actually bump up on like the raw damage to be a lot more consistent or kind of shit. Yeah. So the other, that's kind of like, I would say, like the gist of it. You don't really want to put too much of one weapon in. So in other words, you try to fit in like I said, between maybe 4 to 5 of the weapon. Like for Magna, you put 4 to 5 Magna weapons in the grid, and then the remaining you put in the other types of mods. So even though you are using a weapon that is not being able to be multiplied by your summon, it still helps because you have none of that mod in your grid. So in other words, it will boost really high. Yeah, it's gonna boost really high. So in other words, like because this is okay, this is a really bad example to show actually. I should go back to my win. So for like this one, right? I have how many? I only have actually a few. God, I actually don't really have a proper full Magna grid showing right now. Actually, this is really bad. So it's like what you're trying to do is that you're fitting in the Magna mods to be at least the peak, right? To reach the peak, and then you fit in others like this weapon here. This is a normal mod. If you don't see any M, you don't see any EX, it's a normal mod. This is what we categorize it as, a normal mod. So in other words, it's fine, right? I'm using this just for the extra normal mod. You get extra damage cap out of it as well, if you're wondering what the hell is this. And then also, like, there's another one they call the EX mods, which is, originally we technically called it unknown back in the day, but now we just categorized it as EX because The icons show it EX, so we just call it EX anyway to make things easier for a lot of people. So yeah, there's EX mods. Yeah, remember, there's EX mods, normal mods, and Magna mods, right? The normal mods are technically for Primal, if you're wondering, if you didn't know that. So you can slot in EX mods, you can slot in the normal mods weapons to fill in the blanks of your Magna grid. So that's kind of like how you kind of want to do it, like in terms of like trying to build your Magna grid, for example. Same goes, it's kind of like the same for Primal these days, but I honestly wouldn't even touch Primal if you're still relatively new. You should just ignore that altogether. Just ignore that altogether. And yeah, so that aside, the other important thing that you probably should know as well is that you should always know that skill level is the most important thing in this game. It's not the weapon level. Like this one is 200, right? Weapon level is like the least important thing. The most important is the skill levels, because you are boosting this thing, like I said earlier. Like if you're using Magna, you are boosting this with the help of your summons. Okay? With the help of your summons, you are boosting all these things. So you are skill leveling this. In other words, the numbers of these mods go much higher. What this happens, you're using those things, your summons is going to be able to multiply all this so much more. So what essentially the levels is really giving you essentially is just a stat stick. It doesn't really matter as much as skills. These skill levels are super important. Level them first. In order for you to level them, you need to use like some stupid fodder thing, which is a whole another thing for me to get into some other time. So just recycle them and you should be fine. But yeah, so these ones are the ones that you probably need to pay attention to. Skill levels are very, very important. And then the other thing I should probably mention is that if you're using elemental setups, okay? This is kind of like the other thing. If you're using elemental setups, it scales more on EX mods. If you're using elemental setups, EX mods gives you way more. Same goes for setups that doesn't really have, like, you're not using Magna or Primal summons to scale it. If you're using some other shit, like for example, you know, take like my OTK for example, right? Like this one. If I'm using double Huanglong summons, you want to use more EX mods. As you can see here, as you can see here, this is also another example. As you can see, I have a lot of EX mods in here, right? It allows you to have more, how do I say, it scales much better with EX mods if you're not using any form of summon to multiply them in a way. EX mods is always the better to go to, just because the sheer amount of how do I say, the EX mods that we get these days are usually like the Astro is like unworldly. Then you have like the Xeno ones. The Xeno ones are like fucking massive, so it's really, really high. So it allows you to be a lot better and whatnot. Yeah. I'm sure chat is helping you in a way, because I'm not really able to cover everything on the go. Yeah, you can try to pay attention to chat a little bit too if you want to. But yeah, I guess that's kind of like the gist of the grid stuff. Okay, I hope that's enough to kind of give you an idea how you want to build your grid. So in other words, TLDR on grids building or whatever, you want to get like a base, right? Base is okay. That's not the one I wanted to show. A base. So like for Fire Magna, you want to get AES. Like so, you have like 4 AES, and then the rest you put in the whatever stuff. Usually these days, the go-to what's that? The go-to setups is you have like Opus, you have Seraphic. Seraphic is kind of like this, and then you have like your whatever other weapons you can slot in there. You can put in like the Bahamut weapons, the Koda weapons. You can put in your this weapon. You could put in your premium weapons in there. Yeah, you want to spice things up, you know. You can do those kind of shit, right? You can just put in there. You can also put in like the current weapons you get from the one I mentioned earlier as well, from like these ones. You can put those in there too. Technically, all these are Magna though. If you didn't know that, all these are Magna. This can kind of help you as well in a way if you're missing a lot of Magna mods, for example. This one can at least help you in a way, you know, if you so desire. You can also technically just use them for reductions and shit. So I guess that's probably the next one I'm just gonna like quickly cover. Like, you're probably also wondering what's how do you categorize a weapon that is safe to reduce or not, right? First and foremost, you should never ever reduce your gacha weapons. Okay? The safe bet is to whatever weapons that you get for your, you get new characters, you get their weapons as well, right? The rule of thumb is to never ever reduce them, let alone combine them, unless it's deemed necessary. Okay? So for example, my prime example for that is that, say for example, Leech's weapon, right? Time to flex this grid real quick, okay? Like Leech's weapon, for example, the PNS, the Pain and Suffering weapon, okay? You technically only need 2 at most. There is grids that uses 3, okay? There are grids that uses 3. So if you're, say for example, you're that person, you already have like 3 or more. You can technically use that to combine to save bars. You know, in that situation, yes. That one you can combine. But other than that, you should never ever combine or reduce any of these gacha weapons. Unless they're really, really shit, like Chad's weapon. Yeah, Chad's weapon is a whole different and a story entirely. You can just reduce that. I think that doesn't really matter. But yeah, a lot of things I even noticed, yeah, like what Chad even mentioned, like I even noticed some people even said that that's what they were suggested on the wiki. There's quite a few things on the wiki I would even say that it's not even really good advice. Unfortunately, despite me liking wiki entirely, they are trying to help. I can understand that, but because GBF is such a huge, there's so much things to really like take in mind and consider to build your shit. It can be very, very hard to determine whether is it really good or not to do it. Because I always say that every single player has their own individual situation going on for them. In other words, in order for me to help a said player to whether or not to do what you need to do, what you have to farm, all that shit, it's very, very different for each individual player. But for the most part, like in terms of like starting out or whatever shit, how to progress, you can probably take all the stuff that I mentioned like in the last 30 minutes or something. So yeah, I guess that's really like the few things I can really like help at the moment right now. This also applies to summons too. Like if you get summons from gacha, you should not you should not combine them or reduce them until it's deemed necessary. Okay, so another example I would say is Yatima. Excuse me, Yatima, Babu, Belial. These few summons, just combine them. You see them, combine them, because it doesn't fucking matter. The reason why I said that is because these summons cannot be used more than once. Well, technically you can with Belial, but nah, fuck it, who cares? You cannot really use more than once, especially with Babu and Yatima. You cannot slot them more than once. You have dupes, just combine them. Doesn't matter. Yeah. So in this situation is fine. So but then there's some other situations like say for example like primal summons, right? Take primal summons, like for example, you want to go into primal, you need an extra dupe and shit to get the extra material for you to get to ULB, right? So you shouldn't really just combine everything to just get max limit break, and then you do not have that. You have to like spend 30 gold moons for that. I wouldn't suggest anyone to do that, because I really think it's safer for you to save that gold moon for something else, like 150 gold moon weapon, for example. But no. But instead of like compared to like stoning the summon, for example, I still think in a way it's better to just stone the summon, and then you at least have one extra dupe or something, and then you reduce that to get the thing, rather than using 30 gold moons, because 30 gold moons is very expensive. It's very, very expensive. Yeah. But yeah, dude, there's actually like a lot more I can actually get into, but I honestly think that this is as much as I can really provide at the moment in terms of like what you should do. So like to summarize everything again, yeah, the few things you want to go, try to get to 120 ASAP. You unlock your Magna 2, farm your Magna 2 and all the other shit, whatever, based on whichever you really need. So like even Ini as well, I think you also unlock you need as well. You get the dragons, blah blah blah. You farm the dragons and all that shit. Go all that stuff. Do all your side stories. Skill levels are very, very important. Not so much on the thing, you know. And then yeah, just don't reduce all your gacha stuff. Don't reduce or combine unless it's deemed necessary. And yeah, I really don't suggest you to just use your gold moons like for no reason whatsoever. Don't just simply grab shit. Just don't do that. I do highly suggest you to drop by my Discord channel if you are really, really lost, or just drop by my stream and ask. If you're really, really confused to like whether or not you need to do this or that, I really suggest you just ask in my Discord, because there's a lot of nice people in there. Or at least I try to supervise, and hopefully they are all good advice. If not, I'll just ban their asses or something. But yeah, and yeah, I guess the really main takeaway from all this is that try to find a group to grow with you. Honestly, I cannot really suggest enough for a game like this at the moment, where progressing alone is super hard. Especially as a newbie right now in 2023. Try to grow with other players, like with other people along with you. In other words, try to get like a really healthy, nice helping crew or whatever. Not mine, because mine sucks. Just find other people. It doesn't really matter whether those other players are just way stronger anyway. As long as you want to play the game and progress or whatever, I don't think that the whole rank difference with other players really matters. Honestly, it's even better you have like some high-end motherfucker in your team or your crew or whatever, friends list and shit, because you can just ask them to carry you. That's like the best thing in the world for this game. You just leech, you let them carry. I wish people can carry me too. Okay. But yeah, I think this video is actually going on way too long already. But yeah, like I said, like in terms of progressing, this game is just really, really hard in the beginning, but this is the most I can do in terms of helping like a new player trying to get into the game. And the few things I really need to like pour into their mind to like, do not really get the wrong idea and whatnot, like in terms of like progressing and shit. So like I said, once again, if you really need help, just drop by my Discord or just drop by the stream when I'm online, because I'm mostly online every single day. So you can always ask there. If not, I'm sorry. But yeah, wish you guys the best of luck. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the wonderful crappy game of Granblue Fantasy. I mean, honestly, the game is great, man. You just need to love the grind. If you don't love the grind, I don't think you really enjoy the game at all. Because if you don't love the grind, when the grind is part of the enjoyment of the game, right? You can see like your whole progress getting stronger and stronger kind of shit. If you don't like it, man, I honestly think it's better for you to stray away from the game anyway. But if you're just here to roll during roulette, I don't even know why the hell are you even watching this video in the first place, because you clearly don't give a damn about progressing. So, but yeah, yeah. Once again, I wish you guys the best of luck in your GBF progress. Yeah, good luck and have fun. And yeah, if you're sick and tired of GBF, you can just complain it on in my stream, I suppose. Or just log in on PoE, because that's the best game. And I wouldn't really say it's the best game, but yeah. Alright. Until next time, whenever that is. Yeah.